Welcome everyone to the first paragraph of chapter 7, 2D shapes. And we're going to take a look first of all what we can expect for this chapter as a whole, and then we're going to start with the first bullet point that's in the list right here, which is about medians and altitudes. And those are two very special kind of lines which we haven't discussed yet. I will start with medians in this video, and the next one we'll take a look at what altitudes are as well. Spoiler, they have something to do with 2D shapes, right? So in this chapter, we're going to take a look at all kind of calculations that we can do in 2D shapes, rectangles, triangles, etc. And a lot of special geometric shapes as well. For example, we're going to take a look at the properties of special triangles and what kind of special triangles there are. We're going to start calculating angles in triangles, which is of course different than measuring angles. The properties of some special quadrilaterals, how to calculate angles in geometric shapes, and how to use the so-called corresponding and alternate angles, of which we now of course don't know what they are yet. But first of all, let's start with the first bullet points, medians and altitudes. And as I already said, in this video I will cover what a median is. And the book explains it like this. Chris saws a triangular piece of wood in half. See this figure. He saws along line BM, where M is the middle of side AC. So we measured that, right, with a measuring tape here, and then says, well, M is here. Then I'm going to now saw from point M to B. M is the so-called midpoint of AC. And midpoint in Dutch, we just say het midden. M ligt op het midden van AC, of is het midden van AC. And the line that now connects M to B or B to M is called the median. And in Dutch, this is called the zwaartelijn. And that is because if you're going to now construct this triangle this way, if you're going to divide it like this, the two sides that you are left with have equal weight, right? We're not going to do anything with that, but that's why it has that name. How is a median now described? Well, a median in a triangle is a line through a vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side. And this might be a bit complicated in English, so a Dutch translation. Een zwaartelijn in een driehoek is een lijn door een hoekpunt en het midden van de overstaande zijde. So if I'm now going to take a look at the next slide, here there is a triangle ABC. And you can see that there are three different medians that I can construct. One median that starts in C, one median that starts in B, and one median that starts in A. Because it always goes through a vertex. Hij gaat altijd door een hoekpunt. En er zijn 3 hoekpunten in een driehoek. But that's where they start, you can say. But where do they end? Well, the opposing side, you're just going to measure the distance. Sometimes it's given, sometimes you can even just count the grid spaces. You can also take a protractor here, measure the total length of the side and then divide it by 2. So here, point N is here because AN now has the same length as BN. And to label that, we use those symbols right here, the V's. So AN has the same length as BN. And for example, BP has the same length as CP. So here we use 2 different kind of symbols, and CM and AM the same. You see that the 3 medians intersect in a point, this point right here. And that point is called the centroid of a triangle. And in Dutch, the centroid is also called het zwaartepunt. In Dutch this is a bit easier, right? Zwarte lijnen, samen waar ze snijden, is het zwaartepunt. In English it's a bit more difficult. We have the median and the centroid. And most of the time this is labeled with the letter G. Okay, that's nice to know. And this is a fun thing. You can balance a triangle on its centroid. Try it. Very fun, I guess. Hey, I'm going to now show you an example in Geogebra as well. If you want to see how to draw them yourself, I've also uploaded a video that shows you how to do an exercise where you draw the medians and find the centroid yourself. This is a more theoretical video, right? But to show you, here in Geogebra, I've constructed a triangle ABC with the three medians from A, from B, and from C. And as you can see, they divide the opposing side in two equal parts, here AD and BD. And you can see that those three medians, you can say, always intersect in one point, the so-called centroid. You can see if I now change the shape of this triangle, that the lines now start moving accordingly, right? And it even happens if I flip it like this. As you can see, no matter how, the three lines always intersect in one point, the centroid. And that centroid, funnily enough, is also always inside of the triangle. We'll see that with the other special line altitudes, that's not the case when they intersect. Right? So that's how the centroid moves. And you can see the mediums themselves always go through the vertex. I can actually not move this point, only this one, okay? You see that they don't move from where on the vertex they are, right? They always go through the vertex. Okay, so that shows you how medians work. That's the end of this video as well. Also, please watch the video about the altitudes that's in the separate video about theory B. Okay, good luck.